The 2 a.m. mind when overthinking steals your peace. Ecclesiastes 8, verse 15 to 17. Because a man hath no better thing under the sun than to eat and to drink and to be merry, for that shall abide with him of his labor the days of his life which God giveth him under the sun. Because though a man labor to seek it out, yet he shall not find it. Though a wise man think to know it, yet shall he not be able to find it. Welcome to Life is a Test. These are life lessons from King Solomon, part 62. How many of us lie awake in the early morning, staring at the ceiling, while our minds race with questions about finances, careers, church, relationships, politics, health, and the future? We wonder, why did that opportunity fall through? Why did my friend's plan succeed while mine failed? Why did this illness come now? Why do some people seem to move forward effortlessly while I feel stuck? We live in an age where we are constantly analyzing. Our phones glow late in the night as we scroll, research, compare, plan, worry, and replay conversations we cannot change. Many of us go to bed exhausted but cannot sleep, not because we worked too hard, but because we are thinking too much. We lie awake trying to figure life out, searching for patterns, explanations, and guarantees. If I could just understand why things happen the way they do, we think we might finally be able to rest. But Solomon, speaking from experience, observed something many of us feel but rarely admit. The harder we try to figure out life and God's providence, the more restless we become. He describes people who cannot rest day or night because they are consumed with understanding the business that is done upon the earth. We think, we plan, we analyze, believing that if we study longer, plan better, or think harder, we can finally control life's uncertainties. We wrestle with questions we cannot fully understand. Many of us want guarantees, explanations, and certainty before we trust God with tomorrow. Yet Solomon warns that this pursuit often produces anxiety, frustration, and exhaustion instead of peace. The constant need for answers can become the insomnia of the soul. No book, no expert, no system or philosophy can fully explain God's ways. Solomon himself, the wisest man who ever lived, searched deeply and discovered the limits of human understanding. No matter how intensely a person searches, they will never fully grasp all of God's hidden workings. Not because God is cruel, but because He is God. His ways are far greater than our ability to comprehend. After exploring the confusion and unpredictability of life, Solomon offers a surprisingly simple remedy. Learn to enjoy the life God has given you. Solomon teaches that the answer is often to receive what God gives without trying to control what He has not revealed. Peace does not come from solving every question. It comes from trusting the one who already knows the answers. Even the Apostle Paul says that God gives us richly all things to enjoy: good food, rest, meaningful work, relationships, and simply daily comforts. These are not selfish pleasures. They are gifts from God meant to be received with gratitude. There are two unhealthy extremes in life. One is living carelessly for pleasure, entertainment, and sin. The other is becoming so weighed down by life that we forget how to enjoy anything at all. And Solomon points us towards a wiser path. We are to enjoy life under the sun while keeping our hearts fixed on the God above the sun. We value eternal things without rejecting the ordinary blessings God places before us each day. So when our thoughts begin to spiral late at night, let's pause and ask ourselves, am I trying to solve what God never asked me to control? So instead of chasing endless explanations, let's practice gratitude. Enjoy a simple meal without distraction. Take a walk without our phones. Rest without replaying every problem. Spend time with people we love instead of comparing our lives to others. When we begin to practice these simple acts of gratitude, we will realize that they are often part of God's mercy in the middle of all the distractions. Many people live with the mindset, I relax when everything makes sense, when this problem is solved, when I finally understand why. But we know that moment may never come. Life will always contain unanswered questions. Solomon says a man cannot find out the work that is done under the sun. Even the wisest person, King Solomon, could not grasp the ways of God. That is not failure of intelligence. It's just a part of being human. And God has placed limits on what we can know, so we learn to live by faith instead of control. God's providence is active in our affairs, yet much of it remains hidden. Kings rise and fall. Opportunities open and close. Health comes and goes. Some are born in privilege while others face hardships from the beginning. Similar choices can lead to completely different outcomes. But God is working through it all. The only thing, He has not handed us the full blueprint. Scripture says that the secret things belong unto the Lord. What God has revealed is enough for faithful living. When we obsess over what He has hidden, we lose our peace. But when we accept our limits and submit our plans to Him, rest begins to return. Solomon encourages us to enjoy our food, our work, our relationships, and rest with thanksgiving, knowing that God remains sovereign over every outcome. So, while we plan, we study, research, let's trust God to direct our steps. That kind of trust looks like laughing without guilt, going to bed and resting without anxiety. It looks like enjoying a meal without fear about tomorrow and trusting God without having any answer. Wisdom is not knowing everything. Wisdom is knowing when to stop demanding answers God has not chosen to reveal. We may not understand why life unfolds the way it does, but we can know this with certainty: God is in control, and today is a gift. Receive it, rest in it, and leave in God's hands what He never asked us to carry. Heaven bless you today, and have a great day with an awesome God.